What is good, everybody? If you want to be able to draw the graffiti letter W like these 6 letters here, stick around to the end of the video because I'll be taking you step by step on how to do so. Now let's go. Right, so in today's video we'll be going through the processes on how to draw the graffiti letter W. As always, I'm going to start off showing you is you have the skeletons form and thicken the things up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Real basic, but you can find that on other videos on YouTube. On this video today, I want to go a bit more in depth. But basically with the principle, there's 4 shapes that build up a W. And I'm going to show you how to take those 4 shapes and make real stylized looking W. Right, shape 1. Let's just put this standard how it is. Just putting the rectangle shape in place. Shape 1. Shape 2, instead of having it connecting from the base, the floor, let's start off with something like a little bit smaller and have something come up for shape 2. Shape 3 we'll have connecting, maybe go a bit lower. So it's stacking, like laddering down, like stairs. And then here, let's do the same shape, like so. And connected it there. Already it's pretty much just the 4 basic shapes and just on a slant. But now I want to show you what happens when you start adding little add-ons to the letter and you can really make it your own. So here, I'm just going to have a little point comes to the top of the W. And at the top here, I'm going to have it curving outward. And have this little bridge point that comes off here, and another little small rectangle. Following the foundation shape until we get to this point. And on top of this we're going to add just another shape. Like so. Just to give it something extra and it gives more flavour, so just being the boring 4 foundation shapes. And yeah, but basically once the foundation's in place, you can add these little small add-ons and really make the letter unique. This is just going to be a simple letter to begin with today, and after this I'm going to move on to more complex forms. And here I'm just going to draw a little extra. Like so. So yeah guys, this is the simplest. That's the 4 basic foundations in place. And then move on to stuff a bit more complex. Grab yourself a marker pen, go around the whole thing, blacken up the areas you want to keep, and then leave the lines you don't want to keep anymore. And then we move on to stuff a bit more complex and with a bit more style. So let's go. That would be the simplest W that I'll be showing you today. Now let's move on to the second one. And this time I'm going to make it a lot more complex with a lot more flavour and a lot more movement. Okay, so let's take shape number 1 and let's say we're just going to bend it a little bit more. So where this is quite straight but leaning, this time let the pencil be loose and just bend it around. I want to be thin at the bottom here, at the base, and let's say big at the top. And then we're just going to bring it up like so. I'm just going to add the extra in here, the little add-on. But this is why look how I put the foundation in place to begin with, and then I start thinking about the add-ons. And this is something you want to be key, is not to jump too far ahead, make sure foundations are down, and then move forward. From here, this point and this point, I'm probably just going to draw a rectangle shooting up. And like I've done with this, have a little hook coming this way. like so. Makes a cool V too, real funky V, if you have a V in your name. And here I'm just going to bring a rectangle down. And let's, here the W, mirror this shape and curve it this side. Like so, but being a bit smaller. So the foundation shape's in, like that. And now I'm adding the add-on. Like so. And a W is really one of those shapes you can add loads to. Just to keep going and make it look like something way extra. Like that. And now, from the bottom here, just going to leave my hand loose. And just have it so it draws a shape. And let's put an arrow connecting to this fourth shape here. Just like so. Goes down, connects to the piece. So yeah, a lot more looser, just adjusting some lines now. And you end up with something like that. Gonna grab yourself the marker, go over it again, and move on to the next letter. But look how you can just, by changing the foundation shape, shape 1 to more of a bend, you get a completely different letter, even though the structure really maintains the same. Okay, that's the second W for today. Now we're going to move on to the third one, get it even more loose, even more crazy with the structure, and create something with a lot more flow than the first two put together. So for this one, we're going to start off with laying loose like that. We're going to do it this way this time. Nice and loose, starting bottom being thinner, getting bigger as it gets to the top. Like so. And halfway coming up with this loose shape, then we're going to pull off and maybe kink upwards. I want to try and show you a different variation of letters you can do, because everyone has different styles, and obviously you might look at a certain style and it might not be your thing at all. You might think, actually I hate all these letters, but I'm hoping that there's one letter I can show you and you'd be like, okay, I really like the way this is going, and this is the style I want to go and now practice and get better at. So when those two are in place, I'm now just going to bring a rectangle down, like so. And now to give it a bit of an obscure shape, instead of coming up, which you could do with this shape, copy it out like that, I want to have it so it almost comes out and maybe bends back in. Like so. Really weird shape, really obscure, but obviously the weirder sometimes is better, because that way is 100% your style. And plus, no one likes it when your style looks too similar to someone else's. To really make yourself, if you are want to take graffiti seriously, you're going to really try and strive and create your own style, and that's the key to like standing out, is just creating your complete own lettering and really make yourself stand out from the crowd. Here I'm just going to box at the top now, so add a bit extra. This is the perfect time to adjust any shapes you think you want to make longer or thinner to thick. And bring this into the centre. Okay, a rectangle up there. Alright guys, grab yourself your marker again, And now we're just going to outline the whole thing. And there we have it, guys, the third letter W for today. A little bit complicated than the rest, a different form, just to show you guys a variation instead of sticking to the same sort of W, just a bit more evolved. This W, I'm going to take it back a tiny little bit to something, something where you can take the foundations, what we discussed earlier, and build up to create something different, but using the same principles like this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll show you how to do that now. So let's just take shape 1, so we're throwing quick, really basic, like that. And now, instead of from the bottom up, we're going to start here, and again, and for this rectangle, we're going to do it fairly small as well. Quite blocky, like this. Now from here, we're going to add some add-ons on the bottom, curve it up, stick them on the foundation, and make sure it really gets to a high point of the top corner of this W, just like so. And here we just have a small add-on, following the shape down. Of shape 1. Here I'm just going to keep this real simple in the middle, just connecting the two blocks together, so shape 1 and shape 4 together. And here I'm just also going to draw another add-on coming off just like this, and then up top coming in. Here I'm just going to have a little line coming up and flicking back into the shape. And just exaggerate this a little bit more. Like I said, I'm just taking it back a little bit. We're tying this up, and then we go up to a complicated looking, like a really flowy, more complex looking W, and then we move on to the final W and show you how to really pull the letters together to create something really unique. And there we have it, guys, that's the fourth letter W for today. Now this one, I'm just going to sort of let everything just go free flowing, and really just create something really unique, something a bit more complex for the people who are a bit more advanced out there. Okay, so for the first shape, I'm going to sort of go with this sort of shape, but build it up like this. So it's small at the bottom, and it's getting loose towards the top, and as it comes up, it's getting smaller again Now at the top here I'm going to sit this kind of shape so it flicks back. This will be a little more complex than all the other ones, as you can probably tell from the starting shape, where we've gone from rectangle to way more complex. Okay, so once this is in place, I'm actually going to add the add-on coming across. Throw a little point coming up like that, a little rectangle, and now you've got the first shape here. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to do another small rectangle coming off adjacent to that, and here just give it a little curl at the end. I'm not normally the greatest teacher at explaining things like mathematically, like breaking it down like you would in an art school. I'm more of a sort of, I can show you and hopefully you can pick up a few understandings. This sort of letter here, I'm really good at drawing, but it's a different skill set and trying to translate that into how I'm doing it. But obviously 2 rectangles coming up, 1, 2, a third rectangle, I'm just going to drop almost straight down from that point, like so. And I kind of like this element here we done the first one, so as I come down I'm going to bridge it straight back out, and then my pencil will go really loose. Just like that. And here I'm going to make it go, it's going to be cut straight till it gets to the halfway point. Really exaggerate that coming down. And then it's going to shoot straight off in this direction. And curve back up. Here we're going to do a little connective piece. So it fills in that space, it's not too bent out of place. And add another rectangle coming off there. And then here I'm just going to bring this in a tiny bit, it's gone a bit too wild. Like so. And I'm also going to throw a loose line coming around the back and drop a shape here. Just leaning over, so sort of like an ear or whisker, just leaning over the top of the W, like that. A lot more of a funky W, way more crazy than the others. Yeah, but the same principle still applies. It's still just the 1 main, 2, 3, and 4, just really bent, crazy. A lot of exaggeration happening on this letter, and I just hope you get the gist of things. So yeah, as always, once you're happy with the rough pencil lines, grab your magic marker and go around the whole thing. Okay everyone, that's the 5th letter for today. A lot more flavour to this. This is way up more my alley. A lot more bent shapes, a lot more things being stretched and pulled across than the others. The blocky style is cool, but if you've seen my pieces already, you know that I sort of like to add a bit more flair, a bit more, not wild style, but heading that way. As always with these lessons, as I'm working through each letter, the final letter, I'm just going to literally, my thought process is this. I'm going to look at each of the previous things I've done, take the elements I like the curvature or the add-ons, put it all together and make the final letter come to fruition. So yeah guys, this one I'm just going to time lapse it over and then I will talk to you afterwards. And there we have it, guys, 6 different ways where you at home can draw the graffiti letter W. I really hope you liked today's video and you learned a lot from it. I mean, I aim just to be able to show you guys how I break down the process. If you take one thing away, I feel like my job is done for the day. So yeah, thank you for walking this journey with me. I appreciate it 100. Anything you want to see, make sure to leave me a comment. I read all the comments and I'll make it happen for sure. Obviously, you've got a few more letters of the alphabet left in the series, just X, Y, Z, and we are done. It's been a hell of a journey already. Before I sign out, I need to say a massive thank you to everybody on the Patreon team. You've actually made this alphabet possible. It takes a lot of time to make, and with your support and donations, you've actually enabled me the time to create this content and give back to the art and graffiti community. So thank you honestly from the bottom of my heart. Subscribe, like, all that good YouTube stuff, and until next time, just keep creating, stay well, peace.